Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place to find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Thursday, so on Thursday we're here with Happy Healthy Habits with Robin Shimizu and friends. And Robin is in the house. We are so excited. Robin, it is so good to see you. And,
Thank you so much.
friends waiting to join this conversation. So I'm not going to delay the program any further. I'm just going to turn it over to you and say, so good to see you, girl.
Thank you, Terry.
Welcome.
And thank you, Francine, in the background. Today, we are so delighted to have Linus Woods Mullins back with us again. She's been our wellness expert for the last year and has been giving us lots and lots of tips. Yeah, it's been a year at least, Linus. So let me just quickly introduce Linus. She is a holistic wellness expert for women over the age of 40. She's an author. She has an e-magazine. She's a coach. She's a mentor. And what I like to say about Linus is she helps women mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally, and just as stellar as any human being can be. And today she brings us Dr. Shelley Niglo, a friend of hers from Atlanta. And I'm going to have Linus introduce Shelley, and I'm so excited about the show. Thank you for joining us, ladies.
Well, thank you so much for having us. And this is my dear friend, Dr. Shelley Niglo. And she is my co-collaborator for a brand new program that we're rolling out called Emergence of the Total Woman, Creating a Blueprint for a Life You Love. And today's topic is talking about lifestyle changes, small incremental lifestyle changes that you can do to increase your wellness. So I was going to give you some from a wellness perspective, and then I wanted to kind of segue to Shelley so she can share with you a couple of tips from the program that can be very helpful in terms of helping you not just increase your wellness, but also to help you heal from some of the hurts that you have or blocks that you have that are keeping you from being able to move forward. Our whole goal of the program that we put together is to help women to move forward, to live a life they love, to pursue their dreams and passions, or maybe to help them identify what dreams and passions, or maybe they're already successful and they want to go beyond that. And so that's what this program is designed to do, to help you, achieve what you want and to stay well while doing it. So let me go ahead. Let's pull this over here real quick and share with you some of the lifestyle changes that can enhance your wellness, and it doesn't take a whole lot. So these ideas may be small but can give you large outcomes, and some of them we've talked about before, but it never hurts to remind you. Okay, for you folks that have a sweet tooth, that kind of like to eat cookies, I suggest that you replace those cookies with fruit. Buy more fruit. We're getting to go into a season now where there's a lot of fruit available. More and more fruit's going to be available. And instead of going and buying the cookies, buy fruit. It's amazing how fruit can really cut your sweet craving because fruit does have sugar in it. The other thing is purge your pantry. Now, come on, ladies. It's a great time to do it. Spring cleaning is coming up. So get rid of all your packaged stuff as much as possible. The chips, the fortified cereal, the cookies, the crackers, the things that you know that you shouldn't have in there. And if it wasn't in there, you probably wouldn't need it. So purge your pantry. That can go a long way towards meeting your wellness goals when it comes to losing those unwanted inches and just feeling better in your skin. For those of us who are in the midlife area, you'd be surprised how much eating processed food adds to your brain fog. So if you purge your pantry, you're going a long way towards getting even clearer in your mind. Next thing, learn your body. By that, I mean, know about your blood panels, know where you are on your hormones, understand what your BMI is, your body mass index. Find out what's going on with your body. Knowledge is power. And the more you know about what's going on with the body, the more you can make some decisions in terms of your overall wellness. Another thing that can give you big results, but takes a small change, is adding a fish oil supplement, omega-3. Omega-3 is really good for your heart health. It's good for your brain. And here's something that people may not always realize. The body does not create omega-3. The only way we can get it is through our food, nuts, salmon, any kind of, healthy fatty fish. You can get it from that. But sometimes it's difficult to get it from our foods if you're not eating those things. So the best way to get it, if you're not sure if you're getting it from the foods that you're eating, is to take a fish oil supplement. My only hint to you about this is make sure that the fish oil supplement that you're getting is fresh. I know people like to sometimes buy supplements bulk at Sam's Club or Costco. Just check the expiration date, because sometimes, believe it or not, those things are rancid. They don't really work. It's not going to hurt you, but it's not going to help you. If you want to make sure, you can always go to the health food store or go to Sprouts or whatever, because usually their products turn over a little bit more quickly because people who are looking for those kinds of things go to those stores. So just make sure that the expiration date is good, and then just take one a day, and that will really go a long way for your heart health and for your brain health. Now, here's another one that I think we all know, but we just don't do it. When you've had a particularly large meal, take a walk. I don't care if it's just a walk around the block, but take a walk. Jumpstart your metabolism. Get some fresh air circulating in your lungs. Help your body to process through that huge amount of food that you just got through eating. It will go a long way towards meeting your weight loss goals, if that's something that you have, but it's also good for your body. It's not good for your body to go to sleep on a full stomach. It makes it that much more difficult for you to get into a deeper sleep, and it makes it that much more difficult for the body to process through it. But if you have a large meal, go for a walk, you'll probably sleep better, and your metabolizing part, your digestive process, is so much better. Next thing, sitting over an hour is not a good thing. I've always told you that you're not stick figures, you're meant to move. So if you've been sitting for over an hour, get up and walk around. Now, I know it's early in the morning, so maybe you haven't been sitting for an hour yet, but if you have been sitting for an hour, get up and walk around right now. The reason why that's so important is that you want to keep the blood flow going to all of your organs, and especially your brain, to your joints. And, as we get older, the longer we sit, the more it seems to kind of unwrap ourselves. And if you get up and walk around for 5 minutes, exercise, stretch, do whatever it is, just for 5 minutes, that goes a long way towards making sure your blood flow is good, your organs are getting, fortified by the red blood flow that's going through. And also, it's a great way to get those feel-good hormones going as well. Now, another thing to increase your wellness, doesn't take a lot, is to learn something new. We want to exercise our brain. Our brain is like a muscle, and when we're learning, it feels good. Sometimes it's frustrating because it's something new, but we want to kind of stretch ourselves and push ourselves and not get complacent. And for those of you, let's say, who are challenged with technology, let's say, and you've just given up and said, I'm not going to do it anymore, have a friend or maybe even one of your kids or a younger person, or someone who is good at technology, to sit down with you and to show you some things. It's amazing how it increases your self-confidence, but most importantly, it really helps work the brain. If you haven't read a book for a while, read a book. If you have not taken a class for a while, take a class or go to a dance class. People don't realize that dancing really does accomplish a couple of things. It's great for the body, great for getting the endorphins going, but it's also great for the brain. I have danced for, 57 years, 58 years. And dance is a language. And you have to use your memory to remember the moves and all of that. And it's a great way to exercise your brain and your body at the same time. Next quick change for a big result. Start writing your thoughts down every day. Journal. Get it out. Don't keep it inside. If you had a great day, fantastic. If you had a negative day, write it out instead of keeping it inside. Sometimes we don't take the time to communicate with anyone or don't feel comfortable communicating with anyone about what happened in that day. But I think it's a great idea to at least get it down on paper. Also, if something really great happened, and you don't have anyone to share it with, or you shared it with somebody and they're like, oh yeah, that sounds good. Write it down. Celebrate your successes by writing it and journaling it. Talk about what you're grateful for, but also get out some of those negative feelings instead of keeping them inside, because negativity is toxic. And this one is so important, especially if you are concerned about weight loss and losing inches. Believe it or not, you don't want to skip any meals. The reason why is that your body, after a while, doesn't know exactly when it's going to get fed, and it holds on to those calories longer just in case you decide to skip another meal. So do your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner. And I suggest that you really eat 5 to 6 times a day. That's what I suggest, because that keeps the metabolism going. Just watch your portion control. Watch, of course, what you're eating. I don't think you should have 6 meals of carbs. I mean, use your wisdom with it, but definitely don't skip the meals. And my last little tip that can give you big results is to try eating more things that are brown and less things that are white. Generally speaking, if it's white, it's been processed, and there's not much nutritive value there. If it's brown, more than likely it hasn't, like brown rice, wheat bread, not the brown bread, but the bread where you can still see the grains in it. Only one thing: brown sugar, white sugar, sugar is sugar, throw it out. The only difference with the brown sugar is that it has molasses added to it. But if you want to get some molasses, you can just go ahead and get some blackstrap molasses and get the real nutritive value of molasses, because there is no nutritive value in brown sugar. But try to get rid, instead of having the white pasta, which is great in some ways because it does have protein in it, but get the wheat pasta. Okay, get the brown pasta if possible, or the spinach pasta if possible. Use your wisdom. A lot of these things but if you just take some of these suggestions, it's amazing how much better you will feel within a short period of time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, I was madly writing all of those down. That's awesome. Thank you so much. It's such good reminders.
Yes.
I wanted to add a little bit about I'm just going to add one little thing about the omega-3 fish oil capsules. I went to the eye doctor recently, and I had the very beginnings of macular degeneration in my left eye. Anyway, she's prescribed, or she told me to take fish oil.
Wow.
And wow, really? Because I was already taking fish oil, but she says, I want you to get this one. It's really high quality, da 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 da. And and it's made a lot of difference.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah. So
good to know. Thank you for adding that. And I wanted to share with you, my friend, Dr. Shelley Nigolo, and when it comes to other things that we can possibly do to help us feel more connected and to move us back, maybe move us past anxiety or stress or some of the other things that block us from moving forward. And there's so many of them. Dr. Shelley, welcome. Tell us just a little bit about you and about what you do and how you have contributed to the program, The Emergence of the Total Woman.
Well, thanks everyone for having me today. I'm really excited to be here with you all. I'm Dr. Shelley Nigolo. I'm the creator of the Power of Woman seminars. And for over 30 years, I've been training women throughout the United States to create a life they love. I have seminars, I do private sessions with women, particularly. I do work with men from time to time. My husband and I have relationship mastery seminars as well that we've been teaching for 30 years. So my intention with women in particular is to support women in truly having the quality of life that we're all looking for. And one of the things that Linus and I came together about the emergence of the total woman was to support women in a manner that they could quickly access not only tips and tools, but an experience of feeling good with who you are. We're so good at taking care of everybody else, right? We're good at supporting so many other people in our lives. And we're as good as our to-do list. But deep down, we're so much greater than our to-do list. And who we are is so magnificent. And many times in the process of living day to day, we don't tap into that innate resource that is naturally who we are. So I actually teach step by step how to tap into your innate power, to be able to focus with ease in your life, to produce the kind of results that you want to have, but without pushing yourself. Could you imagine your life without the push? And so one of the things I'd like to speak with you today about simply is to learn how to slow down, because learning how to not push requires that you actually slow down. It's the exact opposite of how we think about things. We usually think that if we push ourselves, if we make it happen real fast, then we'll get a whole lot of things done. Yes, we'll still get things done, but at what sacrifice with ourselves? So learning to slow down so that not only you're including yourself, but you're feeling satisfied with yourself deep inside. You feel good in your skin. And then learning to apply that to producing the results without the push. And that takes a little bit of practice. So today, how about if we practice a simple kind of breath that we will be doing at length in the Emergence of the Total Woman program? So simply taking deep inhales and then exhaling your breath like you're sighing. And I recommend you breathe through your mouth because, you will already have information and experience with yoga breath, with meditative practices, and that's all fine. But put it aside for now because simply breathing through your mouth literally bring in more oxygen into your body. So let's try it again. And I'm going to, once we start to practice, I'm going to stop speaking for about a minute so you can feel how it feels inside. So let's begin. And you can close your eyes now. Feel how it feels inside. when you begin to slow down. You'll feel clearer with your thinking. You'll feel clearer with your body experience. You'll feel more focused. You'll feel more alive. And you'll be able to produce the quality of life you really want to have, that we all want to have. So you feel free with your life, that you feel satisfied in any given moment of your life. So practice this. And as you're going through the day, if you feel like you're speeding up again, simply stop, even for a minute, and breathe. And you will find that the outcome of whatever you've been engaging in will become so much easier, and it will become effortless.
Everybody's like Zen.
Yeah, we
How
need to
did
wake
that feel?
up. I'm so relaxed. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because we don't breathe, do we? Most of us, we hold our breaths.
Mm-mm.
And
Yeah.
we don't even realize it because we're so focused on everybody else, we don't notice. But
Yes,
when
and Brenna says here, great breathing recommendation that felt good. She's watching online.
Yeah, it's amazing. As I like to say, we are a nation of non-breathers. We walk around holding our breath all the time, sometimes in anticipation of something that's going to be happening subconsciously, other times because we're stressed, and we don't ever slow ourselves down.
and sometimes it's even because of some pain that we've held on to that we're unconscious about, that we don't even know is impacting the quality of our lives.
Mm.
And these are the kinds of things that we talk about in the Emergence program, ways that you can remove some of the blocks and some of the energies that are keeping you from being more productive. It really is a program that helps. It provides a blueprint for you. We give you in writing what to do each day or what to do next, but it also gets you on that journey, gets you on the right path, and helping you to emerge into what it is that you do want to do. And it's amazing. I've working with Dr. Shelley has been amazing. I've learned so much about things that are going on, running the background subconsciously that we're not even aware of, that impact our health, impact the way we think, and definitely impact our outcomes.
Yes, and one of the things I actually would like to share very briefly is an example of someone that completely turned her life around. It's a lady that came to me some years ago. She's become a very good friend. And at the time that she came to me, she didn't feel good with her life at all. She wasn't at the time able to have children. She now has two lovely teenage boy and girl. But her marriage was failing. She wasn't feeling good with her life. She was good in her career, but she really wasn't satisfied. And one of the things she did want to do is she wanted to not only heal out the issues from her history, she had a lot of trauma, but she also wanted to turn the marriage around. She wanted to have a quality of life, and she also wanted to have a very successful career, much greater than what she was experiencing to that point. But there was so much emotion, so much sadness and anger from her past that she kept getting in her own way. So she came to the Power of Woman seminar immediately, the one that I teach. And she did my advanced classes. She came to me privately. She did a lot of private work with me. She completely healed out all of that past trauma and pain. And she really got clear about who she is. And she developed an exciting career out of her own home so she could also care for her children. She's extremely successful today. And by the way, she has a thriving marriage with a wonderful partner that loves her for who she is. So these are the kinds of things that we are moving everyone towards in our emergence of the total woman. Now, we all have different backgrounds. We all have different issues in our lives. But wouldn't it be incredible to live a life free from that past pain, that past trauma, whatever that might be. I, I grew up in a very difficult family life. I know what it is. So I determined a long time ago that I was going to do something about it. And each of us has that choice. We can create the quality of life we really want to have. And what Linus and I are offering each of you is to step up, step into it, and soar with the quality of life you really want to have. So, Linus, why don't you say whatever else you want to say, because you have an incredible part of the program. And by the way, ladies, I love working with my Linus. She great job.
We have some great laughs. That's for sure. We bring this program together. Well, I think for me, the testimonies that I get from my clients is just how small incremental changes, like what we just got through talking about, can make such a large difference. I think sometimes it's not that we don't know to do these things. We just get so caught up in what we're used to doing that incorporating something new doesn't last for long. But I do have one story about a lady that came to me who was dealing with anxiety. And I do specialize in stress and anxiety because that's my story. And for those of you many of you know that I struggled with an anxiety disorder for years. And it wasn't until I made some real lifestyle changes incrementally over time that most of my anxiety was gone. But she had a huge anxiety problem. And to the point where she was emotionally overeating and gaining weight, because whenever she would get anxious, she would start doing emotional eating because that gave her temporary comfort. And next thing she knew, when she went for her checkup, her doctor said that she was a candidate for chronic heart disease. She was approaching that, and that she needed to change her eating habits immediately, and she didn't know where to start. So we did something really simple. In fact, we recorded it one time on Facebook Live. We went shopping. We first we cleared out our pantry, went through all of that. We went to the pantry thing. And then we went shopping. And actually, the shopping was meant to do two things. It was meant to get some exercise, but also to pick up the things that she needed for her new way of eating. We had a great time. And she went ahead and prepared her first meals. And every day she would eat something different that was healthy, that had portion control in mind. And we would celebrate every single day that she was able to eat something new and not like eat a bunch of crud, because she didn't have it in her pantry anymore. And what happened was maybe about 4 weeks later, a text message. She says, Linus, I cannot believe what happened on my way to school, taking my daughter to school. She got so upset with me because she said I had her jeans on. And we both have the same jeans, but I wear at least 3 sizes larger than she does. I said, these are not your jeans. She says, Mom, those are my jeans. And she said, no, I know these are not her jeans. But something made her go check to see. And she went to her room and her jeans were still hanging in her closet. She was like, she had lost about 4 inches.
Oh my.
Yes, and actually it was so subtle because we were incorporating lifestyle changes. She was doing meditation, lowering her cholesterol, thickening going down. She was watching her portion control. She was eating more healthy. She was really practicing a lot of positive ways to view herself. And over time, she wasn't snacking like that anymore. And it was very subtle. But 4 weeks later, she could not believe it. And I couldn't believe it either. I was thinking, about 90 days or so, she might lose 2 or 3 inches. She lost 4 inches. And the good thing is that she kept losing the inches until the body leveled out to where it was supposed to be. And I think she went from like a size 18 to a size 10. And that was not really her goal. Her goal was to get rid of her anxiety. And I knew one of the things that she had to do was to change the way she was eating. So that if she was going to be emotional eating, at least she was eating things that weren't going to harm her. And what happens is when you change how you're eating in terms of eating things that have more nutritive value, you don't feel the need to snack as much because you're full. And if you have other tools that help you with the anxiety, then that's not the first place you go to, is to reach for the apple. Maybe you reach for that meditation tape, or maybe you go for the walk, or maybe you do some yoga or some of the other things we talk about. Those are the kinds of tips and tools that I share with you in the emergence.
Oh, okay, well, we have a comment over here, Robin, from Brenna. I'm going to put it up. It says, mhm, I wake up spinning. The breathing helped me slow. I don't get breaks between tasks. I have to make them happen. Just sitting down to my calendar doesn't help me slow showing me all I need to do. I think it does the opposite. She's saying when she sees her calendar, I
Yeah.
guess it creates, urgency because she has a special needs child. She's running a business. She's a wife. She has two other children. She has a really intense schedule. So,
I have
ladies.
something to say about this.
Mhm.
Yes. When it comes to all of those things that are on your plate, and of course you have to address them,
Yes.
but what you can do, even in the process of all of these things, is as you take one thing at a time, breathe for 30 seconds.
Mhm.
Get yourself slowed down. Get used to the breathing on an ongoing basis. Eventually, your body will know to breathe. It will take a little while because we're not used to it.
Right.
And as soon as you see that you're speeding up, that you're pushing yourself to get this done, that done, and everything else, slow yourself down and breathe. Even when I'm on these podcasts and these various programs that I do with Linus, I take very deep breaths in the middle of it. Now, does anyone hear my deep breaths except for when I'm teaching? No. So you can really accomplish, even I would close your eyes when you're in front of the computer rather than looking at the calendar, because I understand that when you're looking at your calendar, you do feel like, oh my goodness, I got to get all these things done now. But take the thing that is the most important thing to do and do that, and then do the next. But at a slower pace, you'll actually find that you'll get more done and you'll be way more effective with it as you include yourself. And so it's like being addicted to food. We're addicted to not breathing and not including ourselves.
Mhm.
It's the way we trained ourselves in this society, after all. There's nothing bad. There's nothing wrong. It's simply retraining yourself, like Linus was speaking about, with, supporting the lovely lady with the way she was eating and her whole way of, living her life in regard to food and exercise and so on. So this is the same exact thing. You can do this. It's a matter of making the commitment to the quality of your life, making sure you include yourself. That's a foreign concept for most of us.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is.
Okay. Well, now Francine says, health is my lifestyle. And Brenda makes this comment, Robin, let's see. She says, I like the tapping I've implemented.
Yes, I agree with the tapping, Brenna. I'm a tapper, and it does make a huge difference. I think sometimes it takes a combination of things. And I also think it helps to have a combination of things in your toolkit, because sometimes those things work for a while and then something changes and then you need to go to something else. So again, knowledge is power. The more you know about what works for you, what resonates with your spirit, the kinds of things that you have in your toolkit that you can, use from time to time, the better you do. The main thing, though, is to make sure that you get the tools, that you get the learnings and things like that. So you'll have them available to you. Because I know from my own experience in dealing with anxiety, my first experience in terms of holistic approach to anxiety was essential oils. I made an investment of about 10 different oils, and they did all work for a while. And then something shifted in my chemistry, and I had to do some other things. And so I added certain kinds of foods and things, and that worked for a while. Then I went back to the oils. Yeah, it just depends, because things, your environment changes, and that impacts, how you encode the world. Your body changes hormonally. That definitely impacts how you feel. So the more you have in the toolkit, the more prepared you are for when those changes come, so that you can kind of level off in terms of letting anxiety rule your life or stress rule your life or whatever it is that's keeping you from thriving. You take back that control. And as Dr. Shelley says, become unstoppable.
Yeah.
Yes, ladies, it has really been a revelation to have these conversations with you this morning. Robin, here at Biscuits, we don't like convoluted crap. We like stuff we can do. We like it made clear, okay, so that we can be about the business of doing it. And that's what I love about your guests. You always have such wonderful guests that bring clarity to the things that we should be working on and how to go about getting it done. So I want to thank you, ladies, so much for your
It was
contribution this
our
morning
pleasure.
and for making it simple and easy for us to understand. Robin?
I just have I have one question. How does someone who is viewing this Facebook podcast, whatever we're doing, how does somebody get involved in the emergence of the total woman? I mean, how do they get in touch with you guys to just even explore whether or not it's something they want to do?
Right. They can go to bit.ly/emergence blueprint.
Okay, that's what Francine had put up on the
Oh, did she?
comments.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
you go to that page. You go to that page. There's more information about the program. There's a couple of other things. A video that we did that explains more about the program, and from there you can actually register for the program.
fantastic.
Well, I love the simplicity of the conversation that we just had, and one of the things that I've been trying to do, and it's totally in line with what we're talking about, is I'm trying to not multitask, and that kind of helps you slow down too. When you just stop multitasking and just do a good job on one thing at a time, it's been very helpful to me, and I love this simplicity of all of the comments, because you can pick and choose what you want to do for that day and maybe do one or two things only.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. It's creating the healthy habits that what we're striving for.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you, you guys. As usual, Linus, you brought us a beautiful guest today. We learned a lot. And I didn't know that you could just breathe through your mouth like that, because normally people don't tell you to breathe through your mouth.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I've actually found with all of my work that it is so effective. And when the women practice it, it becomes the way they breathe, regardless of anything else they've ever done. And I say, listen, you can still do your meditative breath. You can still do your yoga breath, whatever it is you're involved in. But when you're working with yourself and doing your inner development kind of work or your healing work, this breath is, for me, the best. It's produced the greatest results.
Wow.
Well, thank you very much. All the way from Atlanta.
For allowing us to come by. I really appreciate that.
Thank you for having me today and for having us together today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you again, ladies.
Yes, Terry, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to remind everybody that tomorrow is Friday. And on Friday, here on BizChicks, we talk tech in English so that you can understand it and help you have tips and tools to run your business better online. So, guys, you might want to tune in if you're not aware of that. And don't be scared, because it'll all be in English. In addition to that, we just want to really thank Francine. She's been operating in the background here as our producer on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope all at the same time. So we just, really appreciate her. And in addition to that, those of you who are watching on the replay, we want to thank you for taking time out to spend time with us and learn more about how to run your business better. Remember, don't forget to go to the front of your own line, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.